It's LJZ here, and welcome to my running shoe journey part 1. This video is more or less going to be part vlog, I guess you could say, and part shoe review. Now I'm going to start at the beginning of my running journey, when I first started running for recreation and competitive running in general. I'm going to start with the shoe that I wore to start off my running career, I guess you could say. And that was the Asics Gel-1150 shoe. Now, I started cross country in 7th grade because my parents always said, LJ, you're a really fast runner. Why don't you just try it out? And for most of my life, I had been playing soccer, but I decided to quit. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't devoted to the sport. So I decided to try out cross country. Showed up on the first day, was amazed by the seniors' speed. But on the first day, the coach said, I want you to run around the park twice, which equals 2 miles. And we were like, okay, 2 miles. Doesn't sound too bad. But we quickly found out that about a mile in, we were aching like crazy. Our legs felt like rock. We could barely move them. And we shuffled through that workout thinking, how are we ever supposed to run longer than that? It was a horrible introduction to running, but a necessary one nonetheless. So yeah, in 7th grade, I was in cross country, but I still didn't take it quite so seriously. Like, I didn't run on the weekends when we didn't have group practices. I didn't, train outside of practice. And it was more or less just a moment of trying to fit in and see where I am on the running team. And this shoe, the Asics Gel-1150, was the shoe I wore in 7th grade. No, I mean it's the brand of shoe. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly the same shoe I wore in 7th grade. I would have had pretty big feet. But anyway, I would say the Asics Gel-1150 is a great shoe if you're just making an introduction to running. Whether it be recreational or competitive, I'm saying this is a good practice shoe and possibly a race shoe. I personally, at this stage in my running journey, would not want to race in these. Obviously, in cross country, I now wear spikes, but I'd say if you're a beginner, this is a great place to start. The issue is, I actually don't think they sell these in stores anymore, because I remember I started off with these and I loved these shoes. I wanted to keep on getting this style of shoe every year, and then one year I showed up at my local shoe store, Flying Feet. It's an athletic shoe store, and they were just like, we don't carry that anymore. Big surprise. But anyway, this shoe, I would say, there's nothing really special about it. It's just a very natural, I guess, neutral shoe. I mean, you do have the gel on the back, as you can see. So it does have good cushioning. And right here, you have the squishy styrofoam. Good breathability through this mesh right here. And other than that, I have to say there isn't anything memorable about this shoe. But at the same time, there isn't anything disappointing about this shoe. This is a good shoe in either regard. So if I had to rate this, I would have to give this maybe a 3.5 out of 5, with 3 out of 5 being average. It's a little over average. I wouldn't say it's my favorite running shoe, but as I said, great place to start. And this is definitely, if I continue running, I'm going to look back and I'm going to see this as a very nostalgic shoe. This is the shoe I practiced in 7th grade. This is the shoe I ran races in. And that was the junior high course. The junior high course is 2 miles in length. Obviously now I'm in high school, so the course length is 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles. But back then, 2 miles seemed like a hell of a lot of mileage. And also back then, this was my only training shoe. Just this, for practice and racing. I didn't have 2 pairs of shoes. Nowadays, I obviously know if you're a competitive runner, you want to own 2 pairs of shoes. Sort of alternate day to day. Increases the lifespan of your shoe, and it just helps the gel reform for another fresh run. And also nowadays, I obviously wear spikes for cross country, as I said, so I basically have 2 pairs of practice shoes and 1 pair of racing shoes. But really, when you're making an introduction, and when you're as young as I was in 7th grade, this is perfectly acceptable. I mean, you never see any 7th graders going hardcore at races. I mean, in 7th grade, it's more or less, yeah, just a time of fitting in, seeing where you are in the team. It really starts to get pretty damn competitive in 9th grade, but I'm going to get to that in some later videos. So yes, this shoe, good shoe, introduction. Here's the bottom of the shoe right there. I would say, well, first of all, whenever I'm done running in a running shoe, and they always say, at the most, to put 500 miles on a running shoe before switching it out for a new pair. I tend to go for maybe like 400. That's just me. But yeah, I got the mileage in on this shoe, got a new pair of shoes, kicked this pair away. I don't run in these anymore, trust me. These are really worn out. But I do wear them for mowing the lawn. That's a great idea, in my opinion, to wear your old running shoes for mowing the lawn. So all in all, in both running and walking, I can't even guess as to how many miles are on this shoe. But that also goes to show that you don't need to get this shoe just for running. This could be a great walking shoe, I would say. Just a great everyday shoe. Yeah. And yes, I realize it comes back to the point that you cannot buy this shoe anymore in stores. I do not think you can. You could probably get it off of Amazon or something like that. It's your decision. And this red and black isn't the only color. I actually did end up getting a second pair of the same kind of shoe the following year in 8th grade. It was black and yellow. So yeah, that's about it. 3.5 out of 5. Great beginner running shoe. Nothing too special, nothing disappointing. It's very neutral. And so yes. So if you want to chip in any little details about this shoe, or you just want to ramble about your own personal running experiences, please do so in the comments below. It's much appreciated. Please like, please favorite, please subscribe. Thank you.